Master, dinner is served. Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic? Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please. Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio. Paradelphia. Because what if it's all true?
Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch.
Saturday night is the loneliest night in the week.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour with the one and only Fishman.
I know that, dude.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Everyone get out!
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic.
All right. What's up, fuckers? Rock Metal Radio live on the air on Toxic Radio. My host, Mike Battaraco. What's going on, Mike?
What's happening? What's going on?
Oh, you know.
How we doing today?
We're doing. Everybody's, I've bitched every week about traffic coming up here and me sitting in it and walking in the door at the last moment. I left my house at 10, okay? And I got up here. I left my house at 10. And I got up here in 2.5 hours. I was like, okay, so that's obviously the sweet spot. I have to leave Maryland at 10 o'clock in the morning to make sure I'm not walking in the door at the last freaking minute here.
Well, it's, hey, as long as you're not late, you're good.
Right. I think I don't know. I might have been late with one show. I think I was late once. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, 5 minutes, whatever.
It's not like we're on an exact schedule around here. We try to be.
We
try to be. We're allowed a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of a window.
We're going to do it today. We're going to be on schedule today, I think.
Yeah, man.
I think we got this. I
think we should be polished enough now. What is this, our 6th show? Is this our 6th show?
Something like 6th, 7th.
We don't even really.
Like
we shouldn't even be counting until you get around to the 50th episode or something. I guess that's when everybody makes their little marks of 50th episode. Ding, ding.
Hey, ding ding.
No,
oh crap! Here comes Lil John.
Yeah, exactly.
Ding, ding.
No. He was actually just here too. He brought me some stuff, some CDs and stuff that, and I got to hear new Rat Rod stuff that they've been recording, like basically scratch tracks. But dude,
nice,
good stuff. Good stuff. I was like, wow, okay. It's an evolution of first album was one way, second album was better than the first. This third album is leaps and bounds now, honestly. Better than the first two. I'm just like, wow, this is it's I'm really psyched for people to hear it, so it's gonna be cool.
Right.
So we
huh? That was pretty funny. Brett Huber.
Yeah. Brett's the man. Or Brad Huber. Yeah, he's the man.
Brad Huber.
Brad, this is everybody. Hi, Brad. I'd rather you be late than my wife.
Exactly. It's pretty funny.
He's funny. So we've had a bad month here, man. We've been losing rock stars like crazy left and right. I mean, it's been
sucks.
It's been a bad month, man.
It's been a bad month. I mean, and for reasons that it sucks. You got, of course, Dusty.
Yeah.
Was horrible.
That
was after. That one was like, you kind of you didn't see it coming, but he had something wrong with his hip. So and you hear it all the time. The hip surgeries. Next thing you know, people die off.
Yeah,
and it's kind of crazy. Right. And then the Mike Howe one was Monday, I think. I don't think we found out till Tuesday. And that one hit me. That one was like, wow. It was a shock because you didn't know what was going on. You didn't hear of him being sick. You didn't hear of anything.
Right.
And so you're just like amazed and you're like, what? And then the next day, they basically come out and release, why. And, I'm going to get a little emotional here, people. So bear with me.
Let it out.
When I found out why, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And no pun intended, Metal Church song, but it hit me like a ton of bricks because you start having all these whys. Why? There's no answers. And the only person who has the answers is Mike Howe.
Right.
But right now, I want to talk about stuff because you see it on Facebook and you see people say, we had Robin Williams die, he hung himself, I do believe. And, he suffered from depression and people say, I'm going to speak me.
Right.
I'm going to speak for Mike Howe. I'm not going to speak because I don't know anything. Everybody's situation is different. But, people say, well, he's so happy. You never know this. You never said anything. I personally have been diagnosed with it. Okay. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel a lot of times. So bear with me. I don't tell people this shit. I keep this to myself. You could be having a great day. You could be just laughing and joking with your friends. You could be at a rock concert. You could be hanging with friends, everything. And it's like somebody whispers in your ear. Nobody likes you. Ruins your day. This is not the truth. You know it, but it ruins your day because it's inside your head, but it's like the truth. It's your truth. Somebody taps you on the shoulder. It feels like nobody's tapping you on the shoulder, but it feels like somebody taps you on the shoulder. People would be better off without you. You can't help but believe it. And I call it the dark place. So I go to the dark place. You're not going to know I'm there. My mask is on. I'm happy. I'm still functioning. I'm secluded in myself. I'm gone. I'm not, I can talk, but most of the time I cower and do, I go away. If I'm at a party and I don't feel right, I leave. It's happened to me before where I go away, just because of something, something little, something whispers to you. Why don't people talk about it? Why don't people say something? Well, I'm going to tell you something. When a voice is whispering in your head, you don't matter. No one likes you. And people only hang out or talk to you because they feel sorry for you. The last thing you want to do is talk to somebody and tell them how you're feeling, because that is going to make you think that they're not going to like you even more. They're going to feel more sorry for you, and that's not what you want. You want people to accept you. You want people to accept your lie, is what it is. I lie to myself a lot of times. I lie to myself and tell me I'm okay when I'm not okay. Half the time I'm not okay. But I tell myself that. I've got to. I don't like medication. I won't put myself on it. Therapists will ask you, have you ever thought of suicide? Of course. Hasn't everybody? But the plain and simple truth is, no, everybody hasn't. But you think everybody has. You think that's a way out. You live with it. Some people die with it. I haven't yet. I hope I don't. But it's a plain and simple fact that that's what's going to happen. It's not going to happen, but it may. There's people out there that feel this way every single day. You don't know it. I'm not going to tell you. I talk to people that do have it. I talk to people that don't have it. And people tell you all the time, hey, call me. You ever feeling that way? Call. I'm always here. You know what? Not one time have I called anybody. Not one time has somebody I know called me. Because we don't want to be somebody else's burden. So when it's easy to talk about, and it's easy to wonder why. Why did Mike Howe take his life? We don't know that it was depression. I have no clue. But he was in a dark place. Right. Why do people commit suicide? We don't know. But the myths and the misinformation that's out there, the people that you don't understand unless you live it. And I just wanted to, get on here. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to help. All I know how to do is listen. I can listen. Me reaching out is hard. Me doing this is extremely hard. But it's one of them things when you feel you have to do every now and then to help somebody else out. And if it reaches one person, I'm here. Talk to me. I don't care if we're not friends on Facebook. I don't care if we're close friends. I don't care if we've never met and I don't know who the fuck you are. Messenger is always open. Talk to me. I don't want to lose another person I know of to suicide. That's preventable. Get the help. Talk. I got to take my own advice half the damn time. Just who knows what Mike was going through? Only he knows. I know what I go through, and all I wanted to do is get out there and dispel some myths, and let you know how I feel so that maybe you all can understand it just a little better on what we kind of go through. It ain't easy, but hey, we know that we're loved, but for moments during the day or, all day or whatever, we don't feel it. But, it's something that's us. It's not something anybody else is doing. It's us. And we got to learn, medication or talk to a therapist. I hate therapists. They don't get shit. They just get paid. But that's all. Now we can get on with a good show and be all upbeat and lively and be the same way we always are. I just wanted to get that out there. Take it for what it's worth. It's just the way I am. And, now you might understand a little better on how people go through. And you're right, Laura. It's hard to remember when you're in that moment to reach out and call. It's hard to remember that, hey, this is just bullshit. Your brain telling you bullshit. But, it is what it is. But Mike Howe, fucking awesome guy. We're going to miss him.
Absolutely. Mike,
absolutely.
I appreciate you sharing. I really, really, really do. I know you pretty decently. I know you struggled a little bit here and there. I didn't know the extent of really how that made you feel. So, brother, thank you for speaking your mind. And again, we have this platform here from time to time, whether it be me ranting about something or, whatever it is, Mike wants to touch on something. This is the platform, we have the platform for it. So, like Mike said, if you're one of these people that suffers from any kind of depression, and I understand you, like Mike said, you guys hear this all the time. Hey, reach out, call me, do this, do that. But the truth is, you have to be the one to make that first step. We can't do it for you. And, but cliche as it is, know you're loved, brother, because I love you to death. And, if you ever, it sounds so cliche after you just given that whole speech, but I mean, dude, seriously,
right. It's not gonna happen. Don't hold your fucking breath.
All right, well, call me anyway, you fucking asshole.
I call you to give you hell, and that makes me feel better.
You do a good job at that, actually. You do a really good job at that.
Thank you.
You and LJ have that knack to just randomly fucking poke the bear. Pink, pink, pink.
Yeah. Ding ding.
No ding dings. We're done with the ding dings. The damn bell's sitting over there staring at me too.
It is.
Oh, dude, no, that's yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, and the things that have been going on in the world the last year and a half don't help. But believe me when I tell you, brother, you're not alone, man. I know you feel it, but you're not. You're so not. There's a lot of people that are very happy to have you in their lives, and I myself am definitely one of them. You know what I mean? I couldn't think of a better person to team up on this show with. You know what I mean? You and I have some history, and it made sense that everything go the way that it's going, man.
Right. And you look at Mike Howe. I mean, millions of fans.
Yeah.
A band. He's out on the road doing what he loves. And then he's in, I don't know, but
right.
You can pretty much guess.
Yeah. He was in a dark spot, like you said.
Yeah. And they were trying to medicate him and trying to get him normal, and they fucked up with medication, and it's all crapshoot with that shit, and until they get it right, you're gonna feel like shit. And well, we lost a good man because the fucking big pharmacy can't figure out what the fuck they're doing half the time. Excuse my language, people.
Excuse my really? You gotta say excuse my language on this fucking show, really? Who are you talking to?
I try to be nice, at least. I don't know.
Yeah, we've talked about that dynamic with you and me before. I'll be the dickhead. Right. And it's like good cop, bad cop. I'm always going to be bad cop.
Good, yeah.
What
right.
the fuck?
I was just talking to a girl this morning, and, for the first time ever, she reached out about our show and this and that. And I found out that, her son tried to take his life. I think she said he was 17, and his girlfriend saved him. And this was like a week ago. And I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
And, it just, you never know what you're going to talk about when somebody messages you. It was about this show, and, if I could get a guest on for her, and I'm like, hey, I can. And, it led into that. And then it's just like, wow, you never know.
The connections you make in life, we say that before a million times. The connections you make in life with people that you hook up with,
right.
Some of them are just so random, but, I don't look at anything as random. There's a reason, you know what I mean? One way, shape, or form, there's a reason why you're talking to that person. You're having that conversation. You see this person, you know what I mean? There's a reason for all of it. And if you just, if you allow yourself to be open to the universe, you know what I mean? And feel the flow of things coming in and out, and the stuff that you're putting out there and the stuff you're getting back out of it. It's like, if you pay attention to all that stuff, man, you can help people. You really can, without even realize you're helping them. You know what I mean? Just to having a conversation with somebody who could just be having a completely fucking crap day. You know what I mean? That could be the biggest difference in that person's day and how it ends that night. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's keep doing what you're doing, bro. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, because I think you and I are on the right tracks of,
we have fun.
Keeping it together. So let's go into
so what we got coming up, man.
We got stuff coming up today.
We got stuff coming up.
We got Mr. Dan Angermaier, who's coming up next, and I know you don't know him, Mike. I've known Dan for a while now. He's pretty intense drummer, pretty intense guy. Not intense. I don't want to say he's intense, because he's not intense. Not like,
all drummers are intense.
Oh, whatever, you fucking drummers. I forgot. See, I'm going to stop booking drummers on the show, because then you automatically have that in common with them, and I'm already the odd man out, man. That's some bullshit right there. And then a little later, we got Mr. Steve Blaze, I believe, from Lillian Axe. That there.
The Axe.
I'm gonna make a confession real quick before we get into it with Dan. I'm gonna make not for any reason, not that I didn't like the band or anything, but Fish is laughing at me right now, because whether you know it or not, Fish is a huge Lillian Axe fan. Huge
Love
Lillian Axe
those
fan.
But fucking rock, dude.
They were
love Lynn.
They were never on my radar. I can't tell you a song.
Dude.
I know.
Dude.
I know.
How many bands were not?
Right?
How many bands did we overlook back in the day? And they really hit Poetic Justice was really the one they hit with. The two albums before that my opinion, the first three albums are the best. And then Psycho is like decent,
Killer.
and and the other one, yeah. So I listened to that again today, and it was like, wow,
Great album.
because it didn't do it. It didn't do it for me back in the day. I was like, going from Poetic to Psycho. It was like, but now I revisited it. It's like, holy shit, this is a great album.
Well, on their 1992 tour, their All Access passes that we had, it says on there, "Who the fuck is Lillian Axe?"
Nice.
So you're not the only one to have not really known about Lillian Axe. They should have been much, much larger on the grand scheme of things. I mean, they're a terrific band. So I'm really excited, Mike, that you're going to be talking to him. I'm a big fan. So
I didn't know who they were. I went and saw them on the Poetic Justice tour. And my buddy's like, you got to go to this show. I was like, Lillian Axe? Fuck is that?
good.
And I went to that show, blown away, went out and bought all their shit.
Went out and bought all their shit.
I bought all their shit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's going to check him out,
band,
though.
too.
Will is going to check him out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Between the two of you, I'd be doing myself an injustice, obviously, if I didn't.
Going to make you a mixtape.
Bring it.
Bring it. Mixtape. Yay, mixtapes are back. Right.
Right on.
Love
All right,
it.
well, let's bring in Mr. Dan Angermaier. Dan, you with us, brother?
Hey, what's happening, guys? How are you doing?
What's going on?
Good, man.
Not much.
Long time no see, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's definitely been a while. Of course, the pandemic didn't help us
Nah.
out one bit, but it's an honor to be on the show. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on, dude.
Glad to have you.
So, let me give people a little bit of background on how I know Dan. Dan plays in a lot of bands. I don't know if he's got them slimmed down. I think there's 3 that I know of for sure that he plays in right now. Are you only in 3 now?
No, I think it's like 4 or 5.
Fucking hell, man. You quit one. Did you pick one up after you quit one? What happened?
Yeah, it's kind of like an addiction. I just love playing music. It's once it's in your blood and it's in your soul. You can lie to yourself and like, hey, I need to take a break. The next thing you know, you quit 1 and you join 3. So it's it's who I am, and I just can't deny that.
Yeah, I've seen Dan in a couple of different projects. The last one that I guess the most recent one that he quit, and again, this isn't like he quit, said fuck that, it wasn't like that at all.
No.
No, I mean, he's still real good friends with the guys in the band and everything else. But
Yeah.
that's, I think the first time you and I met was probably playing when it was Boom Boom Jones. Is that probably right?
Yeah, we met at the Birdcage in Ferndale.
There you go. Yep,
Because
that
I
was it.
remember we talked. We talked outside for like a couple hours after we closed down the place, and we could have kept talking more, but.
Yeah. Dan's a good guy to talk music to, or just to talk bullshit with. And in general, he's an easygoing guy, man. I don't know if he's got a mean bone. If he does, I don't want to see it, because if it's any indication, like most people that are really nice, like Dan is, usually those are the people that when they get pushed to that other side, that you don't want to be around. Like, it's probably not going to be a good thing for anybody. I just kind of have that.
Right. Like,
Just
like the old Incredible Hulk shows, Mr. McGee, don't make me angry.
Right.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, I don't want to see any of that, man. So Dan is a pretty awesome drummer, as well as being an awesome guy.
Thank you.
And we have him on. The main reason I wanted to have him on today is because I want to focus on one of his projects that I guess has been going on for about a year now, right?
Prison Wife, yes.
Yeah, Prison Wife. So Prison Wife is the name of the band, and I'm going to get right to this real quick. Where the fuck did you come up with that name?
Right?
I mean, what the fuck, dude? You should have just called yourself Wife Beater. I mean, what the fuck is Prison Wife? What the hell did that come from?
Prison Wife.
It's funny because, Robin from Shake the Room is the singer.
Yes, she is.
And Brian from the Mind Factor is the guitar player. So the 3 of us are already kind of twisted to begin with, and then the 3 of us together. So, we wanted to come up with something that was just going to grab people's attention, and like just like what you're doing right now. So, it's like, we could have called ourselves like, Joe's Purple Rocket or or something stupid and like
Pink
Dinky
Rocket.
Twinkie and the Beef Sticks. But
Twinkie and the Beef Stick. I like that one. That's pretty cool.
That might be a future project.
I'd buy their shit.
That might be a future
I'd buy their
project.
shit.
You know, it's like I've been doing this for more than half my life, and I know that a lot of it is the way you market yourself, but it's grabbing people's attention. And what you want to do is you want to do something that sticks out and people remember. You know, and it's like, it's not just having a good song, it's the whole marketing end of it, but it's also having a name that kind of sticks out. I mean, I've had plenty of people going, what the fuck? Why would you call yourself Prison Wife? Why would you do this? Why? And the point is, you're making my point. You know, the name, as crazy as it sounds, you know. But funny story about the name. So before we put any content up on Facebook or Instagram, or whatever, you know, music-wise, we just built the social media pages, and we didn't put any music. We didn't even say what we were about. And all of a sudden, we started getting all these likes from people who had spouses in prison, and it was just like, all of a sudden, we started becoming like this social media group for, you know, loved ones in prison, and people. I remember seeing like, thank you for doing this, or whatever. So again, it's clever marketing. Like, we might go do a prison tour. You know, that might be our audience, the prisoners.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's just insane.
Yeah, but we like you know, and I think Robin was the one that actually came up with the name. To be honest with you,
you know what? It doesn't surprise me for whatever reason. That really doesn't surprise me. She's a pistol, that one, man. Robin she is a fucking pistol. And for those of you that don't know, Robin's voice that girl is strong, man. She has got,
oh my God, yeah.
She's got so much power. And I mean, I like whenever I see her with you know, with the cover bands or whatever, I can feel like she's got way more than what she's given me even on those shows. And, you know, we went and saw her a week or two ago at Fishhead, I believe it was. And I hadn't seen her sing in a while or whatever. And she likes Fishhead because she gets to do certain songs there. She was making a mention on stage. She goes, I like this place. She goes, I get to do other songs that I actually like, you know, that I can sing in this place. You know what I mean? So I got to kind of see this little devilish side to her antics on stage that I really didn't notice before. And I was just like, okay. Not only you're a badass, but you got a bunch of fucking attitude to go with it too. So the fact that she is your singer on this project, dude, I'm kind of, when you sent me about a year ago, maybe not, about a year ago, 8 months ago, you sent me a track, and I remember thinking to myself, this is so fucking weird. You know what I mean? That it's like, and believe me, you know when I say that, it's not in a bad way. It's like I was like. Totally. I was like, this is so fucking weird. I love this. I was like, this is just, it's fucking weird. You know what I mean? And again, anything too that somebody, you know, sends me that isn't able to get pigeonholed into a certain category or, you know, force spoon-fed shit, I like it. You know what I mean? If it's something out of the ordinary.
This ain't no category.
Yeah, there's
a brand new category for this.
Mike, what's your impression, dude? Because Mike, I sent Mike on the search for you yesterday. He goes, all right, I'm going to go check it all out. And what you think, Mike?
I only found one song, Father, Bless Me, Father, right?
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yep, Bless Me, Father.
And I was like, listening to that, I was like, wow. Okay. You know, it's different. It's not your mainstream, you know, cookie cutter, everything that, you know, you sit there and there's nobody to compare it to. I mean, it's completely different. Not what I would have thought it was.
And that's what we kind of sought out when we started writing. Now, granted, you know, the 4 songs that you guys heard on the EP, that was stuff that we started, like the band came out because of the pandemic, and it started out where Brian from the Mayan Factor and we were doing a song that we were going to record for the Mayan Factor. Then he was like, hey, I got an idea for like a surf style song, and you want to come over my home studio and just record it. So him and I started writing and recording songs probably about 2 or 3 months before we we need a singer, and we brought Robin into it. But the whole purpose is, like, we're not trying to write like anybody else. We're not trying to sound like anybody else. Like, I mean, I know bands that were like, hey, I'm going to write a song so I sound like AC/DC, or I'm going to sound like this or that. And a lot of times they might not pull it off because that's not who they are. We always, with this band, we write completely from the heart, and we don't set an agenda like we need to sound like this, we need to sound like that. We just take chances, and we just create, and hope it turns out good.
Yeah, dude, I'm seriously blown away by it. Like I told him when I sent the thing to Mike last night, I said, so they're different. Mike comes back, he goes, after he listened to one track, he's like, yep, they're different. You know what I mean?
You don't know. Yeah. You don't know what to expect, and then half the time, I love that because you discover a new band, you don't know what to expect, and you put it in. And I always listen to something for the first time on headphones so that I can hear. You could get everything that's in there. If you don't have headphones on, you're listening to it. There's other shit going on. You don't get the full effect. You don't get to appreciate it as much. So I put the headphones on. I was like, holy crap, this is wild. It was kind of a wild ride, and I was like, okay, I can dig this.
All right, so we're gonna cut we're gonna play 2 tracks, and we're gonna cut to the first one now. This track is called River's End. You want to say anything, Dan, to set this up? What it's about? What it's not about? Anything?
Well, I'm the drummer, so I know.
Don't start a conversation like that.
No, okay. I can tell you this: that I know that riff actually goes back to the early days of the Mayan Factor. So I don't want to say it's a refurbished Mayan Factor song, but that riff idea came around from the Mayan Factor and stuff like that. And I don't know the exact story or what the words were, but I do know that when we went out to record it and put it together, we wanted to have a very haunting kind of approach to it, especially with the way Robin's voice is. So we just wanted to create, we wanted to create almost like a roller coaster ride of emotions where, it starts off one way, then you bring it up. Then just when you're about to bring it up and you think you're going to drop, you might go up a little bit higher and stuff. So, it's my favorite song on the debut EP that we put out.
It's cool. I like it a lot. So we're going to go ahead and play it now. This is River's End by Prison Wife. That's some fucking crazy shit, dude.
Crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, God, there's like this whole, like this Middle Eastern flavor to it. There's this whole freaking Robin's voice is just sick, dude. It's sick.
No, it's amazing, and it's funny because when Brian and I started writing these songs and recording them as instrumentals, you know, I like there's only one person we can get to come in here and sing these songs, and I was like, it's Robin. I mean, we got to bring Robin in, and Brian knew who she was, obviously from seeing me with the cover band and stuff. So she's amazing, and the one thing I can tell you, she's not just a great vocalist. Her lyrics, her songwriting are insane. You know, we've got another EP that we're working on that's close to being done. Just have to finish mixing it and mastering it. But I mean, she's phenomenal. And, you know, I hold her in the highest regards of a lyricist because the way she can paint a story with her words, and it's almost like an artist with a blank canvas, and they're just painting this beautiful picture. That's what she does with her words. It's phenomenal. I mean, she's a true artist through and through.
Yeah, that she shows it on that track, boy. Whew.
Yeah, she's amazing.
What do you think of that, Mike?
And that's what you want. That's what you want. You want an artist to be able to paint you a picture.
Yep.
I mean, we all take it differently, you know, but when they're painting you that picture, you're taking it your way, and they're leading you down a path, and you know, that's what you want, you know.
Right.
And when somebody can do that and have that voice, it's good.
And I'm not taking anything away from the band either, because that sound that you guys are generating is pretty sick. It's
wild.
You know what? I'm gonna have to later tonight. I'll send you I have a couple tracks that are close to being done that I'll send you so you can check them out. It's just, you know, it's the evolution of the band. So, you know, we look at those songs and like, they're good. But now the next stuff we're coming up is just crazy.
That's what it's all about, man. If you can grow as a band, but that's just, I am blown away by the sound that the three of you have put together. That's just, it's intense, man. Well, it's not a 3-piece, but it's the three main ingredients.
Okay.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute.
When we did that EP, we were a 3-piece, but then we've since added a guy named Colin on guitar and JD on bass, who actually bring us to a whole nother level, which another reason why sonically this new EP we're working on is going to sound much more intense than the EP we just released.
That's cool as shit, dude.
Cool.
That's cool as shit. I love Dan's great, man. Dan, I love when Dan sends me things because it's like because I know it's not going to be some normal horse shit. You know what I mean? When he was sending me Mind Factor stuff, and it's like it's not the norm, and I love that. So it's like whenever I get something from him, I'm just like, okay, I'm like a little kid on Christmas. Let's see what we got now.
Well, then I gotta send you a Black Angel Down track too.
Okay.
We haven't released that. Hopefully we'll release soon. So
another one of his bands. I'm telling you, dude. Like this guy's into fucking so. All you musicians, you know, good musicians.
They do a lot of shit.
Good musicians play in multiple bands just because you know what I mean? They're musicians. They got to create and not every time, not every time of the group of people you happen to be with in one band, you know, you've got something in your head. That's not the group that you want, you know, that's going to be.
Right.
So you search
you need
other
another
players
outlet.
out. Yeah, you search other players out.
You have this outlet, that outlet, and that outlet to get you out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you got going? What's Prison Wife got going as far as shows coming up?
We got our debut show coming up September 17th at
Alcatraz.
Off of York. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's going to be a big one. We've got tickets available for sale, $10, which is a bargain. And then after we do that, you know, we're going to start booking some more shows and definitely going to have this new EP coming out hopefully by the beginning of September.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania State Penitentiary, Alcatraz.
Yeah. we're gonna start going on the state pen tour. We'll probably start off with Jessup, and then probably end in Alcatraz.
There you go.
Jessup and end in Alcatraz. That's awesome.
I'm at that Alcatraz show for sure.
We're gonna call it the Jessup to Alcatraz tour.
Nice. I'm behind it. I'm behind that.
I like it.
There's got to be a way to market that. I mean, the band called Prison Wife doing a prison tour. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes.
Right.
Well, yeah, and that's again the point of why we chose the name. It's like it's something cool that we can use as a marketing tool. Like I'm sure you've seen our logo with the logo with the girl with the tattoo and the gun and all. Well, that's going to turn into what Eddie. That's going to be our Eddie to what Iron Maiden's mascot is. So she's in various forms in each and everything we do. She's going to have a different look to her and stuff like that. Just
Nice.
Mike can get behind that. He's a huge Iron Maiden fan. Huge.
And I'm very huge on marketing. Well, marketing the right thing. When you got something, market it. And if you like Iron Maiden does, they Eddie's in different. I mean, there's 500 different Eddies.
Right.
So you got that girl, market her. Different songs, different ways she's.
Lots of merch.
Exactly.
Lots of merch going on there.
Merch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like you could have the greatest song in the world, but if you don't market it properly, no one's going to hear it.
Right.
So it's all part of the business.
Right.
Visual grabs you first.
Yep. Exactly. You listen with your eyes.
There we go. There
just
she
popped
is.
her up there real quick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There she is.
Oh.
See that, Dan?
Yeah, that's cool.
Baby.
Thank you for doing that.
Is that Robin? Is that secretly Robin holding
No.
a machine gun?
No,
is she that diabolical?
She's hot.
I don't want to give all away her secrets, so keep the mystique to her.
Nice. That's good. That's good. That's good. Exactly. That's good. That's how you create.
Right.
That's right. See, Dan knows what he's doing. He's been around. He's playing this fucking game a long time.
Got that right.
All right, brother. We're gonna play your second song on the way out here, but before we go, I want to thank you. There she is. Look, there's Robin. She's a beast. She is, man. I'm telling you, the Prison Wife stuff. I have a newfound love for her. I mean, already knew she was a badass singer, but this is just this is next level. Dan, thank you very much for coming on the show, bro. I so appreciate you and everything you do, dude. And I'm behind everything you do.
Yeah.
I support everything. You're a good dude, number one. You've got an eclectic feel for getting in some really cool different bands, which I totally respect, man. And I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, bro. Appreciate it.
I can't thank you. I mean, I appreciate all that you guys do. I mean, it's like, without people like you who share the same passion for music and art as us, then, there's no outlet or avenue for us to be heard. So you guys are incredibly important to this whole community. And, I think I said it to you before, but I've always said that music is community and community supports each other. So, it's always a two-way street. It's like we've got to support each other. So, anything I could ever do for you guys, I always got your back.
Well, you never know. Might be reaching out soon. Might have a little something going on under the brewing I might need some help with.
I got your back. Yeah, whatever you need, you know that.
Right on. I appreciate it, Dan. All right, brother. Thank you very much. We're going to go into the second track from Prison Wife. This is called Bless Me, Father.
Bless me, Father, I have sinned like a mother kissed me, baby, as we're both going down. Hold me when them storms get louder and know this fortress of a body sinking round. Hey, 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 Kiss me, Father, I'm brave like the lion hunter. Pass me over, I'm scared like the lion. Save me,
That was Prison Wife. Bless me, Father. Ugh.
Yes.
Dude, I'm sucked in by them. I'm hooked. I'm totally hooked. What do you think?
I like them. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's really not my thing, but
right?
It's wow. It's different. Her voice is like Egyptian shit.
Yeah. There's that flavor to all that going on in there.
Right. You got the little, it sounds like, belly dancer stuff. You got the thing. There's so much going on. That's why when you said 3-piece, I was like, what the,
Right.
And then, 5-piece even, it's like, there's more going on there.
Well, you got to, I think they've got a bass player, 2 guitar players, a singer, and a drummer. They're going to get a lot out of that. They're, it's obviously what they do in the studio is most times going to be different than what they do live. But I know Dan, and I can tell you, they've probably put together one hell of a band to do this live. I can't wait to check them out because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get blown away by it.
Right. Exactly.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, they're not bad, man.
No, I dig it again. Again, Dan's a great dude. I've known him for a couple years now, and he's
a drummer, so he's got to be a great dude. I'm just saying,
drummers. I swear, you drummers.
It's got to be a great dude. I mean,
he's a great dude, much like you, another drummer who's a great dude.
Well, I'm not really a drummer. I play one on TV.
You play drums for yourself.
Yes, I play drums for myself.
That makes you a drummer.
All by myself. Nobody in the room.
That makes you a drummer.
As long as nobody hears me, they can't tell me I suck.
That's a good point. If you don't put it out there, you can't be told that.
Everybody thinks you're good.
You're right, and you can just tell everybody you're good too, because there's nobody to deny it.
No, I tell everybody I'm the world's okayest drummer.
Oh man, well, it's like somebody asked me before. It's like, well, do you play? I'm like, I play a really horrible guitar for myself every now and then.
Right.
And they were like, well, were you ever in a band? And I was like, yeah. I said I was. I was in a punk band for, I don't know, a year. But all I needed was 3 chords and a bad attitude. I had that shit in spades, man.
No. Fuck everything.
Yeah. Dude, 3 chords and a bad attitude. Who can't do that? I can pull that off. That's not a problem.
Hey, but I heard you last night. You was singing. I didn't say good, but you were singing. Wendy, she was singing, and she had a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And you came in and ruined it all. But hey,
hey, I never claimed to be a singer. Believe me. But again, in a punk band, I don't have to sing. I just had to yell and scream.
Right.
So
yell and scream. That's good.
Yeah, I was absolutely cool with that. You're right, Aaron. We do need to bring them to Studio E. That would be a good show for Prison Wife. I think they'd enjoy that. I think they'd have a really good time with that.
Bars up. Everybody dressed in jumpsuits, orange jumpsuits. Dude, that would be sick.
There's so many, like he said, there's so many different ways that they could market that. Fuck. It's funny though, if you go to YouTube and you type in Prison Wife,
don't do that.
There's all kinds of crazy shit that comes up. I was just like, what the fuck?
I did that last night.
I was like, what is wrong with people, man?
I did that last night. I almost went down the rabbit hole, and I figured, nope, I'm not doing this today.
Yeah, you're not going to waste an hour and a half on that particular subject.
Right. So I was like, go to their Facebook page, scroll down, and then Bless Me Father was there. I mean, they, like you said, they don't have much music on there. They don't have any videos or anything like that. So it's just waiting, and once they release the CP.
There's a cover they do too. I think it's a Stones cover. Is it Painted Black? I think.
Really?
I can't remember. Yeah, I found it one day messing around. I can't remember. I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to even butcher which if it was the wrong thing. But it's a cover that they do really well, really well. It's not like a complete total rewrite, but it's pretty cool. And again, having Robin's voice on it, that girl, dude. I'm not taking anything away from Dan or anybody else in that band, but I'm telling how I got this thing with chick singers that if they got powerful powerful vocals, man. I'm all over it. And she is by far, she has just got some power coming out of that. And she's not a big girl. She's not. I mean, she's not like short, but she's powerful, dude. She's so powerful. Ugh, unbelievable. I'm looking forward to whatever new stuff that Dan's going to be sending me later. I'll forward it over to you too, just so you can hear it.
Right. Exactly. I want it.
So what do we got coming up next here, buddy?
We got Steve Blaze from Lillian Axe, baby.
Yeah, you awful happy about that, ain't you?
Yes, I am. Oh man, this guy's really cool, dude. I did my first Monsters of Rock cruise, and people were like, "It's going to be life changing." Blah 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 blah. So I get on the elevator. I go in. This first day, within the first 15 minutes, I go up there, put my bags down, waiting for the cabin to open up, and I get back on the elevator. Elevator doors open up to the promenade or whatever, and there's Steve Blaze. I'm like, you're Steve Blaze. Fanboy shit, and I was like, you're Steve Blaze. And he's like, yeah, pretty much I am, and I'm like, hey man, I'm like, and I totally ruined it. I was like, I've been a fan forever. And, he was pretty cool about it, got a picture. And then a friend of mine, Melissa G, she knows him pretty well from Louisiana area and, goes to shows and this and that. He's got another band called Sledgehammer that, she goes and sees. And so she was hanging out with him the whole time. And she's like, Mike, come sit down, and this and that. And so I got to kind of acquaintance with him a little bit, and he's a real down-to-earth dude, man. I mean, if you're on his page and watch his little videos, he's very down-to-earth. He's not big rock star attitude crap. Really nice guy. Yeah, really nice guy. Really nice guy. And the music is absolutely phenomenal. I love it.
I'm definitely going to have to go back to catalog now and check out. I mean, between you and Fish, you guys seem very, very adamant that I've really missed out. So I'm going to check it out for sure.
I think he just texted me and said he's traveling. I'm traveling on my way home from Tennessee for vacation. I'm trying to find a place to pull over and do the interview.
Okay.
So he may be a little late, hey, these guys got lives, and, it doesn't always revolve around what we want.
Absolutely.
So, hey, Fish, if you want to get in on this and, ask a question or go all fanboy on him, you're more than welcome, brother.
It just might happen, man. It just might happen. I love me some Stevie Blaze.
Dude, and he gets no credit being a guitar player. He gets no credit. Lillian Axe basically gets no credit, and they are just one of the better melodic rock bands you'll find out there.
I agree. I was talking to Chris Elliott from 86 Bullets a while back about those guys, and he, like Will, is not very familiar with them, and I did get him to check out some of their stuff, but I'm like, this cat is one of the most underrated guitar players you're ever going to hear, as well as an amazing songwriter, man. I mean, he writes most of the lyrics, and he's just fucking cool stuff, man. It's very cool. Dude. Like I said, I prefer a lot of the earlier stuff, the more melodic, commercial stuff with Ron but I love this newer stuff that's coming out. So he hasn't changed a bit. He's terrific.
Oh, absolutely. And the songs, are just the writing, like you said. They pull you in.
Yeah.
These lyrics. It's just I did. I re-listened to Needle.
The Needle in Your Pain.
Needle in Your Pain. Oh my God, is that a fantastic song?
Amazing.
And I'm just like, it could go, like we were talking about depression. If you don't say needle, well, and a lot of people use the needle because they have depression, don't know it.
Right.
So, and the lyrics to that song was just like, I was listening to it at work today, and just pulled me right in again.
Yeah, amazing stuff for sure. I am right there on the same page in the same book with you with these guys, bro.
All right.
I'm going to have to check them out. Right.
Well, you're going to check them out in a minute because we got a song coming up.
Well, cool. Do you want to do, I mean, it's up to you.
We could do one and one if you want. I mean, that might be better, or, and then come back and bullshit till he gets on. But we could do Pray first.
Those Who Pray.
Those Who Pray. Yeah.
Cool.
I can do that if you'd like. Here we go. Lillian
Let's
Axe.
do it.
Those Who Pray.
Lillian.
Woo woo! Can't get my mouse to work.
That sounds like a personal problem.
That's
First
what she
fuck
said.
up of the show.
I had a dream of great catastrophes, and all the children cried 1,000 scenes, while all the love we watched them lay to rest. We stood up straight and tall and let them put us to the test. And we won, and love had saved the day. Then I woke, and evil got away.
Okay.
Good shit there.
I obviously missed out.
Dude. And that, that's from Psycho Schizophrenia. Like I said, one of my least favorite albums, but now it's up there a little bit. But like the three before that are Love and War is my favorite. I mean, hands down, easy. Poetic Justice is up there. The first one was like the introduction to him, and it's good. But then Love and War came out, man. It just blew my mind. Love and War came out. I didn't know about him yet. I didn't know about him until Poetic Justice. But then I went back, and I'm like, Love and War, oh my God, how did I miss the boat? How did I miss these guys?
Well, so, I'm feeling like that
any
now.
Any release they do has got, the lyrics are so good. The songwriting is so good. I mean, the guitar work is great. It's just... They're a great band. Great live band, too. Holy shit.
I could tell that was a live track, right? So, I mean, that was...
No.
That's not a live...
Yeah, that was off their live 2002 CD.
Yeah, that was live, dude.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just sitting here listening.
That was me, sorry.
It didn't even dawn on me that it was live.
Oh, yeah, dude. He played the live track.
Nice. Because, the even when it's on an album, it's got that feel to it. I love music that has that live feel to it.
Yeah, they're one of those bands live. They sound just like the studio stuff, and that's hard to accomplish, and they really pull it off. And yeah, that's why I was such a big fan of these guys, man.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you get into it there, Mr. Mike?
Let's get into it. Let's welcome Steve Blaze. I'm sure he's here. There he is.
Hey guys.
What's up, brother?
How are you?
What's going on, man?
I'm good. I'm at an Exxon gas station in Tennessee somewhere.
Nice.
Pulled over to chat with you guys. Yeah, we've been on vacation for a few days. Up in Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg. Hiking, nice. Some Dollywood, some water parks, a lot of shopping. So
nice.
But everything's going well. Thanks for having me on. You guys doing okay?
We're doing fine.
Yeah, man, we're doing great.
Good. Great.
We're turning my co-host onto your music.
Yeah, man.
He really, you know how it goes.
I apologize, Steve. I really do, man. I don't know. We were talking about it. It's like you go through and there's just bands you missed somehow, some way you missed.
Right.
And after literally that track I just heard was probably the first thing I've actually heard, and I'm like listening to it, going, "Yeah, I totally missed the fucking boat on this one." So automatically, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a fan now. I didn't know who what your music was before, what it was about. I mean, I knew what it was about. I knew the vein that it was in, but again, I'd missed it. And I'm telling you, dude, I'm impressed. I'm hooked. I'm ready to go back and check out your whole back catalog now.
Well, we have a lot of back catalog. That's the good part about it. If you miss something like that, at least it's not like we only had one album and you like it and that's all they got. Now we have actually 13 releases and getting ready to put out the 14th. So a lot to catch up on. And it really is, it's such we have, obviously, if you're around for so many years, you will develop your own entity and your own sound that's unique to that group. But the diversity of the type of stuff we do is it's wide ranging. So we have a lot to listen to. But I'm very excited about the new record, which is coming out at the beginning of the year that we're working on right now. So I think it's going to be.
Feature...
I think it's going to be. Everybody says my next record's going to be the best we ever did, but I really do. I wouldn't put it out, to be honest with you. I've thought that about every record. But why put a new record out if you're not going to be able to surpass what you've done before?
Right. There you go.
Exactly. And this will feature the new singer, Brent, right? Brent?
Yeah, Brent Graham's the new singer. And, it's cool because when we first started tracking, it's like, I don't ever really I write songs, right? I have in mind what the talents of the individuals are going to be on, but I write the song, not exactly knowing as I'm writing it, well, how is Brent, with other guys that I've been with for a while, but it's new, how is he going to translate? How is he going to be in this dynamic? Not only, I know how great he is live, but to hear him tracking and have his voice on this material. And it's been what he's doing is great. I mean, it sounds phenomenal. Just got a couple of new mixes in, and I am just so happy with it. It's really the guy's a heck of a talent. I'm fortunate to have him in the band, but he's going to blow some minds.
You have been, you know, I was at work today and just pulled up all this Lillian Axe just to, you know, because, you know, you're at work listening to something. And it doesn't matter what album from your first to the most recent, you have been blessed with some kick-ass singers. I mean, going back
Absolutely,
to Ron,
absolutely.
and then you had, you know, Brian. Brian was the first time I heard Brian was at Rocklanta, and he blew my doors off. I mean, he
Right.
Amazing talent, and you know, I've seen the videos with Brent in his previous band, and I'm like, man, this guy's got some pipes. I mean, and I knew damn well you weren't going to get somebody with Lillian Axe that didn't have pipes. And I mean, Brent brings it, and I cannot wait to see him live. I'll be able to see him live at Masquerade, and on Monsters of Rock, and I cannot wait to see him. I'm looking for
No, he's great, and he's 6'4". He's a big guy, and he's a big towering presence on stage. I mean, he's a monster, but he's like a giant teddy bear. He's the nicest, sweetest guy you'll ever meet, and very dedicated. And you're right about that. I am blessed with that, the ability to have been God's put the right people in my path. And you know, people are like, well, wow, fourth singer, right? I mean, yeah, but you realize how long we've been together. Life goes on, just like in a family, in a business arrangement, in friendships. Life goes on. People change their motives. They change their life ambitions. And sometimes you can be with somebody for 10, 12 years, and they just want something differently. You know, they just want to, I'd like to choose a different path now. And it's all, you know, like, for example, Brian's not our singer anymore, but he's our agent. So he's booking everything for us. I talk to him more now on the phone than I did when he was in the band. So, you know, it's, you know, we run everything. It's a huge family. But, you know, it's a blessing. And, you know, fortunately, I've been in contact, because you guys know the vocals are the most important thing. They really are. I mean, I'm a guitar player and stuff, and I understand all that. But the vocals that's the mouthpiece. You know, that is what your lyrics and your ideas are translated through. So, and that's the first thing your fans will rip you up on too. You know, you get a bass player, it's like, yeah, they don't like sit there and go, hey, that bass line isn't as good as that guy's. You know, on the vocals, they will. The first thing they want to say, you know, they won't even give them a chance sometimes. You know, I've been through that. It's like, you know, people get attached to a vocal performance or a vocalist because it's an emotional part of their life, you know, so they stick to that, and they give you grief if you don't make the right replacement at the right time. They'll let you know about it quickly. And so, you know, but yeah, it's been a blessing. Great singers all the way from Ron to Derek to Brian, now to Brent. And just wait till you see him on stage. I mean, he's a beast.
Yeah. The singer's the one that pulls you in first. I mean, the guitar doesn't, the drums don't. The singer singing to you with the emotion. And a lot of people, you know, me for one, I'll watch the singer while he's on stage and just watch that emotion on his face while he's doing the vocals. And that sucks you right in. I mean, and if they don't have that, then, you know, I don't care how good their voice is. If they don't have that emotional part, you know, it's over. And like,
and it's not just, it's an intangible thing too. Sometimes you don't even know what it is. It's a charisma. It's a combination of all the elements. You've got to have a great voice first off, but it's the way, that look in their eyes when they're singing. It's that charisma on stage. It's just that confidence level, and it's also how do they interact with the other band members. You know, like when Brent and I are together, people are, you know, they automatically go, man, you guys have a great chemistry. And it's obvious. It's just one of those intangible things. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about it. We've done 7 shows so far this year, in the last couple of months, and everyone has just gotten better and better every time. So, it's a great thing.
Good deal. All right. The name Lillian Axe, I know where it came from. I know how it came about. Tell people how Lillian Axe, the name, came to be. You were in a band called Oz.
We were Oz, and we had to change the name. Right.
We had to change the name.
A manager who tried to steal the name Oz, right? So we went and had it copyrighted, even though I came up with it, and so we had to come up with another name. So I had just come from the theater seeing Creep Show, the Stephen King movie, and so we stuck Creep Show, and then there was a scene at the beginning with a little boy in his room, and there was a bridesmaid skeleton in his, and she was looking at him, and she was, like mind controlling him, and the little kid gives this evil look, and I just thought, man, I've got to come up with a crazy old senile old lady's name, and just the name Lillian popped into my head, and Axe just kind of fell into place. So I just said Lillian Axe.
Perfect.
And I was right by our singer's apartment, so I immediately pulled over there, jumped, knocked on his door, and said, hey, I hope you like this name, because this is what we're naming the band, Lillian Axe. And
deal with it.
It just took off. Yeah, deal with it. He dealt with it.
Deal with it.
Everybody liked it. So that's where we are, man.
Yes, I had that is just a great story, on where a name come from. I mean, I love it.
A lot of people think that I had a senile old grandmother or something, but no, not
well,
really.
That
My
comes
grandmother's
from
name was
Poetic Justice. Got that senile old grandmother holding the axe on the cover of Poetic Justice is like,
oh yeah,
absolutely. You think. But no, it's a skeleton. That's kind of cool. What would be say somebody has never heard you before, which we got somebody in the room that has never really checked out Lillian Axe.
I heard one song.
Okay. Well, that's a start. It always starts with one song.
I'm just saying I'm not completely virginized of it now. I've heard a track. I dig it. I'm gonna check out more. So don't be.
And it was live too. That was live, by the way. That last song was live.
And you don't know this about me, Steve, but like I'm a live guy. Like I appreciate what a musician does in the studio. You know what I mean? And I appreciate what you create as artists. But for me, we have conversations all the time. It's like I hear bands all the time that sound really great in the studio, and they don't quite, do it live. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but when I can hear a band that I've never heard before and it's a live track, and you suck me in that way, it's like, okay.
Right.
I'm down. I'm down.
Wait till you see them.
We do take a lot of pride in live shows. We rehearse a lot, and we've always been known for being very, very tight and very professional live. It's very important. What did I miss? What was that?
Fish is holding up a picture back there. Do you recognize it?
No, I can't see it. What is it? Who is that? Oh, is that me?
That's you, brother.
Oh yeah, there it is.
That's you.
Oh my gosh, that's when I used to shave it. Right, I remember.
Fish is a big fan, man. He was pretty excited that Mike got you on today. He was pretty psyched.
Oh, hell yeah, awesome. Steve, big fan, brother. I took this in '92 in Newark, New Jersey, and you autographed it for me.
Newark, was that wait, what was the name of that place? The Newark Club. Oh gosh, do you remember the name of that?
I don't.
Remember, I remember they had like 8 opening bands. I can though. I can't remember.
It was great. It was a great show, and you guys were outstanding as always.
Thank you. I remember that there were like 8 opening bands. They started them at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and everybody played like 20 minutes. That's all I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a famous club there, man. Newark, New Jersey. It was dangerous around that area too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And we hung out afterwards on the bus, and we all had a really, really good time, man.
Awesome. Well, good, man. Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. I love you, man.
He's been another one. Him and Mike both have been on me today. It's like, what do you mean you don't know about Lillian Axe? So like, yeah, I've been ganged up on, man. And like I said, I'm fine with it. It sounds really, really good. I'm interested to go back and check out everything now. So you probably got another instant fan.
Cool. Well, good.
Now,
man. I appreciate that.
If you were to tell Bill, you were to tell him, he's never heard you. Give him one album that he's got to start.
Okay, this is good. I like this.
This is the album you want me. I want you to start with this album and check it out. What album would that be, Steve?
Well, I heard prior to this. Was that you, Mike? That your favorite albums were the first 3?
Yes. This is actually
Okay.
my favorite.
All right. I'm going to tell you
No.
which one I would tell you to go with Psycho Schizophrenia first.
Yes.
Then I would
know-
go to Poetic Justice, then Days Before Tomorrow, and then Love and War. And then
Dude,
it depends though, because some of the ones like Sad Day on Planet Earth or um, Waters Rising, they're different. They're eclectic. I mean, they're
Right.
heavy. They're all we we've evolved a little bit. Everything changes a little bit. Like I was saying, we have our own unique sound. You listen to it, the big guitars, the harmonies, just the melodic sense that when I write melodies for vocals, I have a certain way that seems to become predominant after a while. But so it's us. But I mean, there's everything from one guitar and one vocal ballads to the song Fields of Yesterday, which is 9 minutes long, that has everything in the world.
Oh,
Massive
there he is.
vocals, acoustic guitar. So there's everything in there. But I think Psycho Schizophrenia to me probably is the most encompassing album of I guess our whole dynamic altogether.
Right.
So
And I'm
go with that
revisiting
one
it,
first.
when you go from Poetic, or the first one to Love and War, and then you go to Poetic Justice. Poetic Justice is a way different path than Love and War was. And then Psycho Schizophrenia kind of takes you down a little further. At first it didn't do it for me. I'll be honest. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But then when you revisit something after a little while, you appreciate it more. And now I'm doing that. Psycho's really freaking good. The other releases, and like you said, you grow. You didn't cookie cutter these albums. You didn't say, okay, we are this way. This is the way we're going to be forever. Bam, 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 bam. We're going to be this way. Every album's going to sound the same. It works for AC/DC. It doesn't work for anybody else. So Lillian Axe tells you a story in their songs. And there's meaning. There's a lot of emotion in them where, like the needle and your pain it's just, man, is that an incredible song, and it pulls you in. It's just incredible what you guys do. I mean, every album is different, and you have to appreciate them for each one they are, and don't lump them all in and go, okay, this one's better than this one, because each one stands on its own.
Well, I kind of liken it to writing a novel. Every song on every album, I'm not just writing a bunch of songs and then just throwing them in a random order on the album. They all have a unique, almost individual concept. Not that they're all about the same thing, but the overall vibe blends. The way that I spent a lot of time in the ebb and flow of the songs, from one to the end. That's why we're not a single release band. Let's put a single out. Let's do that. No, the whole album is a piece. It's a work. It's like reading a book and only reading one chapter if you only hear one song on it. And then each album from the first through the current is part of a larger grouping. It's part of the entire encyclopedia that doesn't have an end yet. So they all work together. They're all thematic in their own right, but they're all thematic macroscopically as well, like a giant, large. It's like going to see a movie, and how can you see a movie with only listening to one or two of the scenes, watching one or two scenes, and then at the end of the movie, it's an entire film festival for the day with 20 movies in it, and they all work together to form one major theme and one concept. And that concept for us is about that's how we approach it. So it's really hard. I would also recommend listening to something from the first all the way through to the end, because it is like it's one giant long piece with different chapters that complement each other and mean something from one to the other too.
Cool. I got a good place to start now. I like it. Thanks, man. I'm getting it directly from the source of which ones I should go in what order. So I'm gonna take you up on that for sure.
All right, very good.
Now you got what you said, 14 albums. There's live ones.
Well,
There's
14 I releases, I should say.
Right.
Because we have one album that was a B-side album called Fields of Yesterday. That was when there was a label in Japan that wanted to put a record out while we were in the process of working on a new studio record. And they wanted to get us over to Japan. So they said, we want to release something. And what do you have? I said, all I have is demos of songs that haven't made any of the records yet. They're decent quality, but they're demo quality. And they're like, oh my God, fans would love that. So they put feelers out. Fans wanted, at that point, it had been a few years since we had a studio release. So they were chomping at the bit to hear anything. So I went through, I found the ones that I thought were the, salvageable audio wise, and that I still thought that there were good songs that people might find interesting. And so we released that, but that's still a release. And then we have the live album. Then we have One Night in the Temple, which is a double live acoustic. The whole band played acoustically, but it's 2 CDs audio and a DVD documentary of the whole show with lots of intercuts between songs. It was a singer-songwriter thing. It's really, really good. It's long. It's about 2 hours and 45 minutes long. But I watch it, and I should be bored to hell with it. But I watch it, and I really think it was really done well. And for somebody that would like to see a different aspect of the band, all playing acoustically and hearing song, I think a great song can be played in any type of format. If I think we could take Crucified and make it a good country song because it's a good song with the right artist.
Crucified is a good song.
So good songs are good songs, and so we did it as the entire band. But that's a double live audio and DVD. So it's really like 13 releases. But I think this will be our 10th actual studio album, the new one coming out.
Yeah, 9 of them. Yeah, it's quite a catalog, and you don't get, Lillian Axe has never got the recognition that I think they deserve. And anybody that you talk to, and hears you guys, and goes to see you guys, they're like, when did these guys come about? Like 88, 89. I mean, Poetic was released in 92. And like I was telling these guys, I didn't know who you were until Poetic. One of my buddies told me, hey, man, it was the King's Rook Club in Erie, PA. And little club, three floors.
I remember that place.
And this guy told me, he goes, I was friends with a guy that played in French Maid, and they opened for you. And he's like, dude, you got to come to the show. I'm like, I've seen you guys before. No, Lillian Axe is playing. You got to check these. I was like, I don't know who the hell they are, and I don't need to go. He's like, no, you're going. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's a live show. Let's go. I got nothing better to do. Unbelievable show. Light show. Ron's vocals. Just the band was tight. I left that place, and like I told Will, boom, out there, bought all 3 releases. I was like, these guys are really that good. And then, it was what, how did I not know these guys for the past, this is their 3rd album. Where was I? Under a rock? And that seems like how,
if I had a nickel, every time I've been told over the last 30-something years that we're, the most underrated rock band, we wouldn't be underrated. I mean, I hear the word underrated so much that it's almost like, it's like every time we hear it, all right, chalk another one up, I mean, it's been, if anybody says, what can you say the most, that you hear about your band? That is it. Underrated this. Underrated. I in 2009, Guitar Player listed me as one of the top 40 most underrated guitar players in the world. I'm like, man, I'm just getting sick of hearing this underrated. It's an honor. It's an honor because what it means is that people feel like you have not gotten your due. But we've had a great career. We have a lot more going. We've got thousands and thousands of fans worldwide. But the great part about it is there's something cool about almost being this kind of cult, undiscovered thing.
Right.
And it's amazing when I find people that find us for the first time and they're like, "Oh my God, how did I miss you?" I'm like, I have no idea you missed me because I've been living with myself all these years.
I've been right here.
How did you miss me? And I'm like, how did you, and I do that. And look, even people like in our hometown and stuff, I'm like, how can you? But life goes on. It's just the way it is. I'm just happy that, we're a continuing entity and not a burnt out situation. And that's why we keep on putting out new music. We're putting out a new album, and I'll put out a new album as often as we can because we're about the continuation of this band, not about, living off of what we did 15, 20 years, 30 years ago. That's why I play music, to continue to give to people musical things that I think they'll make their lives better, even for a few minutes, to make them happy and to inspire them in certain ways. So yeah, we hear that a lot, but back to, you were talking about that Erie show. I don't know if you remember or not. Then after that show, we drove all night in the snow to someplace in New York to video our video for No Matter What that had the old lady in. I don't know if you ever saw that video before. It was on MTV for a little while.
Oh yeah.
But we did a remake of No Matter What by Badfinger. And the video we did for MTV, after that Erie, Pennsylvania show, we got in with all our vehicles, the bus and the I think we were in a bus, but I know we had like 2 equipment trucks and drove like 8 hours straight through snow to go shoot a video all day long. We were incredibly burnt out, but it was after that show, man. I got a pretty decent memory on some of that stuff.
Sounds like it, 'cause that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
I know, huh? I'm like 92. My mom. It's like, I can tell you what I wore, like, November 8th, 1991, but I can't find my keys, So it's a weird memory.
It's great,
right. Though. And if you think about Erie, I mean, it's always snow there, But I do remember that night was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't want to go out,
but we made it.
Nobody wanted to go out, but the place was packed. If I remember correctly, the place was packed.
Well, I appreciate you coming, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean that. Yes, great show. You want to do another song, Will? Do Ghost of Winter.
What do we want to play for him? What do you think, guys? What should we play?
Ghost of Winter. Ghost of Winter.
Yeah,
Easy.
there you go.
All right.
Easy.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back with Steve Blaze. Enjoy Ghost of Winter by Lillian Axe.
As I lie awake, all the memories of my life seem to come and fade. It wakes me in the dead of night.
Amazing.
Well, damn.
Yes.
Another live shot. Another live when you getting all the live stuff today.
I'm cool. Like I said, I'm that guy, man. So that's great for me, dude. I'm totally cool with it. And you catch a vibe from the live recording too. You know what I mean? You're not there. It's not the same vibe, but you catch that vibe when I'm a big live guy. So for me, when I go to a show, my favorite part is when the crowd sings. Like, I'm not taking anything away from the artist, but I'm not the artist on stage, so I can't even freaking imagine how that feels on stage. But I know from a fan standpoint, when I'm in the audience and the fans are just loud and they're singing, and it's just like, I get caught up in that. You know what I mean? That I get pulled into that emotion that way. You know, if a band that...
Well, the funny part of that is, like, when you'll hear, like, live, like, people will post videos out in the crowd, and their singing is, like, louder than the singer singing.
Right.
And then Brent goes like, oh my God, listen how off key I am. I go, no, that's the guy with the camera guy.
Right.
Not you, man.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff out there, some of the stuff that people just put out there, and I know this because as I manage some bands here locally, and a lot of the guys are like, they're kind of over it now, but at the beginnings it was like, oh man, I hate when people post certain things. It's just like, you know, because as an artist, you want everything that goes out there with your name on it or your likeness on it to have a quality to it. You want, you know, people to be able to enjoy what you're doing. But it's again, I've seen those videos too where I'm just like, oh, stop singing. You're doing an injustice here. Just let it go, man. Let it go.
I will tell you something about live things. I mean, because, you know, I've seen them and heard them, you know, from us and from, you know, every other band in the world. But live videos, man, when you listen to a live clip, human nature, you're not going to listen. I don't care if it's Pavarotti. If you have a decent enough ear, you're going to hear pitch. You're going to hear mistakes. You can hear that, but that's not what it's all about. No. It's about the overall performance and the energy and the emotion and that kind of stuff. Because I've listened to some of the greatest singers in the world and hear their live stuff, and it's like, oh, hear that? But that's just because my ear is trained to think about stuff like that. But as far as like, you know, you got to sit back and like listen. There's mistakes everywhere on every live performance from every band in the world, from Queen to the guy down the block. You know, it's just that's not what you're listening to. The overall feel, exactly. All of its blemishes and beauty is all just as important. You know, so
I have the CD at home, and I got the CD at home. If I want to listen to Perfect, I'll sit at home on the couch and listen to the CD. When I go to a live show, I want it raw, in my face,
you want it. Yep.
Mistakes and everything. Give it to me, power.
Yeah, I'm that same way too. It's, you know, I made reference to this before, but there's also it used to be even in recordings. You know what I mean? That there would be some little mistake or something that you would catch, but all of a sudden it was like, actually, that's kind of cool. Let's leave that in there.
Kind of cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, I've with watching the guys that I manage, I've watched them in the recording process, and those things happen. But I think somebody brought up a point a long time ago about, you know, new music that's out. A lot of these new bands and the new music that's created, you know, using Pro Tools and such and all these other things. There was a guy who made the statement that, you know, what heavy rock and hard rock music is missed in current bands that are coming out is, one, the lack of the blues, and two, the whole idea that imperfections are okay. You know, you don't have to dial in. Every guitar doesn't have to sound exactly the same as the guy before you. It doesn't have to be that way. And I'm interested to see what your back catalog and all this stuff going on, because I just having, you know, Mike did this interview and listen to the songs that I've heard so far. I'm interested to get in there and get a little bit more of a piece of you, because I always look at that, you know, when I go in and start really getting into a band, I'm looking for the artist to give me a piece of them. I don't want to be, you know, spoon-fed what the world wants me to hear. I want you to grab me. I want you to just bring me in, and I'm real excited about to go back and listen to your catalog now, dude, because I'm psyched.
Well, suck you in. I agree with you guys 100% on that, and that's one reason why whenever we record, like the first two albums were a little bit different. Really, the first album we did it this way, but after that, I kind of changed the whole dynamic. We don't do it like most bands go in and they do, let's go do all the drum tracks, and we'll come in and do all the bass tracks, and then and it's in layers like that. We go song by song. So in other words, we go in and all we do is one song, and we start with drums and bass and do the foundation, but we're doing everything at the same time, and we don't stop and move on to the next track until everything is recorded. So at that point, all of our emotion and energy is in the feel of that track. So I don't have this homogenized sound on every single song. So all we do is get into the gist and the feel and the meaning of that track. And so we bring in whatever we need to. If there's different keyboard sounds, different guitar amps, different micings on the drums, and it's all designed to make that song unique. If you'll listen, and as you will, you'll hear that there's the synchronicity between the songs is in the overall intangible vibe of the music all across. It's not like we have the same sounds. The sounds are different in every song. And that's because, who paints a painting and uses the same exact colors in every painting? Nobody. No good artist do that.
Or the same brush.
I am trying feverishly to make sure that when I finish that song, every little detail is taken care of as far as the emotional aspect. I wrote a song on Psycho Schizophrenia called The Day I Met You. I wrote it in 10 minutes with one guitar and one vocal on it. That's it. Then we have songs like the one I told you about, The Fields of Yesterday, where there's probably 76 vocal tracks in it, maybe. Wow. But you know what? We can play it live if we needed to. That's something I learned from Queen, the band Queen. The most amazing recordings and albums, and it was something that I talked with Leif Masis, who engineered Poetic and Psycho Schizophrenia. We talked about that, hey Leif, what do you think about, and he's worked with everybody from Zeppelin to Sabbath and lots of major acts, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, and I'm like, I'm torn between how we record, because I feel like on the album, if I have to pull a cello player or a violinist or real timpanis or whatever, I want that to be captured. And he said, you don't worry about having to capture every instrument or every little bitty tiny inflection. Don't worry about having to do all that live. In other words, if you have a song that has timpanis in it, you don't have to bring them on stage with you. You don't have to do that. Right. Just do the best version of that song with the band at the time when you play live. And that always stuck with me. And I listened to it, and if you think about it, look at Queen. Their songs had pages and pages of vocals. But when they did it, it was 3-part harmonies, but and the parts were hit, and it sounded amazing. They did the absolute, and nobody said, "Oh, where's the 16,000 voices on the Fat Bottom Girls harmony on the album?" Right. No, they didn't care, because those 3 guys did those harmonies live. That sounded amazing. Right. You did the best version, and you created a different type of vibe, but it was the song that carried, right? It wasn't those little. Music's not all about little tiny, nitpicky things like that, and it's about the overall feel when you sit there and just close your eyes and let your mind absorb it. And that's how we approach doing records and playing live.
I'm touched. I'm serious, man. I'm like,
I love your approach.
I'm super excited to check it all out now, because again, I feel like I'm getting a piece of you just talking to you, and that's got me invested in wanting to go really check everything out now. So I'm stoked, dude. I got a 2.5-hour ride home when I leave here to the studio. Guess what I'm going to be listening to? Woohoo!
Crank it up.
Lillian Axe on Spotify.
I will tell you, whether you like it or not, it's from the heart, and it's the real deal.
I can appreciate that, dude.
Really You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I can appreciate that very much. You give me music from the heart, something that you created out of a piece of who you are. I'm in. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy my 2.5-hour ride home for a change.
Yes, you will, and you can text me later and say thank you very much.
You're gonna be the first one, and then I'm sure Fish is gonna be right behind it. Because again, but to these guys' testament, Steve, it's like. They know I'm a music guy. They know I'm open to all different types of music as well. and they also know that when they're telling me, hey, I need you to listen to this, then I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to it because it's coming from people that I respect. You know what I mean? When Mike tells me, hey, check out this band, I'm going to do it. You know, Fish, same thing. It's just that old school network in the 80s when we came up. You know, your buddy came up with his mixtape and said, dude, put this in right now. Yeah. You got to listen to it.
Right now.
You know, it's the same thing. That's carried on into our 40s and 50s now where those friends tell us, hey, you need to listen to this.
Well, I appreciate you guys flying the flag for us there, really. And you're 100% right, because that's how I can remember when I was in like high school and college, I was working at a music store, and that was it. My buddy would come in and give me cassettes, and that's how I found out about Accept and Riot and Judas Priest and Motley Crue, all these bands. You know, we were just starting up, and he was giving me all these cassettes that he made for me, and listen to this, listen to this, listen to this, and that's nobody else was listening to anything I was listening to at that time, except for like me and my buddies. And next thing you know, I'm out playing these songs, and then I get a record deal, and I'm touring with these bands that he turned me on to, and it's like, it's such a great thing, man. It's cool too, because I'm always looking for new music. I don't care if it's a band that's been around 30 years or somebody just came out, and it's really, as well as I do, it's hard to find things to really light you up, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know why. I don't think it has to do with the bands. I think it has to do with the monstrosity of social interaction that we deal with now. But it's hard to find anything good. Where are the Led Zeppelins and Queens and Sabbaths and Aerosmiths? They're out there. We just don't. It's just hard to find them because of the overglut and lack of assistance from mainstream radio or TV or channels like MTV. I mean, where are those big media efforts to promote music? They're not there anymore. So how do we do it? We do it amongst each other. That's how we do it.
Absolutely.
Starts with me.
Yeah.
Starts with you. Starts with me.
Yeah.
Bam, get it out there.
And I don't know, Steve, I don't know how familiar you are with, like, Mike and I are big in, like, exactly what you're talking about right now. You're speaking to us because we, here locally and regionally in our different areas, we are big advocates of original music, and we try to push and use the platforms such as the radio and any other things that we do. Any affiliations we make is to better the bands that we have come to grow to love that are local, regional, that we can then take on and say, okay, here, listen to this band. We have a podcast convention that's in Nashville next week. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's Rockin' Pod. But my whole goal going there is to find like-minded podcasters that in their regions have these local bands that they just can't get out of their area. You know what I mean? So you get enough podcasts together and say, hey, look, I'm going to send you these bands that are my bands here that we love and play. Send me yours. Let's create followings in these different areas, which eventually evolves into, hey, now you can go out to, Tupelo, Mississippi and do a show because you got 13, 14 fans in that area. They're going to come see you that had no idea who you were before. So, I mean, when you talk about doing it, we have to be the ones to do it. Trust me. You're preaching to the choir, brother. Mike and I understand completely what you're talking about, and we are 100% behind that.
Well, I appreciate what you guys are doing, man.
Yeah, we appreciate. Listen, we appreciate. It doesn't work either way. If the artist isn't there to create and the fan isn't there to enjoy and listen, none of this happens. So we all have to understand that everybody plays a part in it, and together, that's the bigger entity. Togetherness is the bigger entity, and the more people that can get out of their own heads and understand that this music is bigger than just them, the better off we're going to be, and that's what we strive for, man. We really. That's excellent. That's what we stand for. That's Rock Metal Records or Rock Metal Radio was created kind of out of that. We wanted to bring that whole idea to a bigger amount of people, and that means you network with like-minded individuals. You find these people, you know what I mean, and you create. This isn't 1986. You don't have that pipeline that used to exist. That one reason the venues aren't there as much either. But you have to create. We have to create other pipelines to make it work. So. Brother, I'm glad you're speaking that way because you're speaking to our hearts, man. Seriously.
Oh, absolutely, man. And one thing I wanted to tell you guys too as well. We are right now, and it'll probably be finalized this week, but we are finalizing our negotiations with a new label out of the UK that's going to reissue the entire back catalog. Nice. So Everything that we've done is going to be reissued, and they signed us for the new album too.
Nice.
And so there's going to be they're talking about putting out an anthology album, like 3 or 4 albums. Thank you, man. As soon as it happens, I'll let you guys know immediately. So all I got to do is
are they going to be on vinyl too?
My attorney. Yes, they're going to be doing vinyl and everything. But it's a label out of the UK, and when it's signed, I'll let you know all the details. But it's going to be it's a worldwide reissue of all the albums and worldwide release on the new album, probably the beginning of the year. But as soon as tracks are finalized, we'll dish a few out to you. But it's about to go down. So the entire catalog and the new album will be reissued worldwide, and good distribution all over the planet. So we're real excited about that, and that's going to probably be finalized this week. So and a lot of it, they're like massive coverage on as much as I don't like it, the digital world is massively covered. Even some of our albums are hard to find even on some of the digital formats now, but it'll be everywhere and anywhere, and it will still be sold as a CD, as a hardcover with bonus tracks on it. So but I'll let you guys know the details as soon as it's inked.
We're coming up on time here, but Fish has got a question. He's back there there in the window going me.
Fanboy back there.
Yeah, fanboy in the control room is like, hey man, I need to ask a question.
Come on.
I just wanted to take Steve back a little bit. I actually found some pictures that Mike is going to put up for him to check out. This is from outside of the club there in Newark, as well as on the tour bus when we were partying afterwards. And you'll recognize some faces. I mean, John's there, Darren's there. Randall, your awesome roadie, man, extraordinaire. He is in a couple of the pictures. And it was just, what a great time. And just want to show how cool you guys were and still are, that you hang out with the fans afterwards and you celebrate the show and their fandom. So, again, I just wanted to thank you, man, for the many, many years of amazing music. And the first time I met you, it was you may remember the club Sasso's in El Paso. And it was like 87, absolutely. The end of 87, beginning of 88. And that was when I first met you guys. And you blew me away from that day. So.
Wow, you were all the way in El Paso at that time?
Yeah, that's where I was. I moved up here actually just before 92 in 1990.
Oh my God, look at that. Yeah.
Those were good times.
That's crazy. Absolutely. I tell you, man, and I some of the best memories and parts of playing to me are before and after the shows. And we still do that. I mean, like the other day, we played in Destin, Florida, and in Jackson, Mississippi 2 days in a row. And I just, I'm not the guy that gets there and goes and hides out in the dress room. I go around, walk around before a show, and I love talking to people. I like meeting everybody, and that to me is like as important to me as that 2 hours on stage, just because people, they want to ask questions. They want to, find out what's going on. And that to me, it means a lot. It really does, that I get to spend that time. And the whole band's like that. We probably wind up spending 4 or 5 hours a night if we had the time, just meeting people. So that is something that we've always done. And I've always insisted on, I haven't had to really insist because everybody loves doing it. But we do that up to this day. We spend mass amount of time with our friends, meeting people. Sometimes there are people there that, this is the first time they've seen us. They've been following us since the first record, the first time we've been in a situation where they've been able to come to the show, So, right. And I start thinking about it. I'm like, wow, if I had a chance to, as much as I love Black Sabbath and listen to forever, never saw him, and I got to see him and talk to the guy, talk to Iommi for 5 minutes, I would be like, wow, that'd be that'd be an important thing to me. That's something that would mean something, especially if he was, And so that we still do that, all the time, probably even more than we did, because that's very important.
Monsters of the Rock Cruise, you guys were everywhere all the time, talking to everybody.
Oh yeah, that's 24/7.
Yep. And that was
Are you
great.
going this year coming up? Are you going on the new one?
Yes, I am, brother. Oh, you damn straight. Lillian Axe is on the boat. I'm there.
We'll be there, buddy.
Nice.
Be all fanboy and shit, following you around like a little puppy dog, baby.
There you go, man. Well, that'll be fun, brother. We'll have a good time, man.
We'll have a good time.
That's called stalking, Mike. That's not fanboy. That's called stalking.
We don't like to call it that. That gets you thrown in jail.
Oh shit.
But yeah, hell yeah. Can't wait to see you on the boat. And thank you so much for coming on. I mean, it was
thanks, man.
Pleasure having you, man.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, man. Thank you guys, man. Thanks. Hey, look, you guys have my number. Please stay in touch.
Yep.
Anything I can do for you, let me know. And in the meantime, as soon as I get some more news and stuff and I'm able to talk a little bit more freely about everything, I'll let you guys know what's going on and get some tracks out to you as soon as they are ready to go.
Awesome.
Go.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it, brother.
All right, guys.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
your time,
much
brother.
for having me. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Man. Thank you.
Right on.
Drive
All
safe.
right. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
You too.
Okay, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Good show today.
Yeah, look at you all smiles. You're like, yeah, baby.
No, I'm more happy that, we kept our schedule. We kept our schedule.
We started on time and
we're finishing. We could blame it on Fish because he had to go all fanboy.
Yeah. That was cool though.
Fish. Yeah,
that was cool. Him finding those old pictures and Mike being able to put them up like that so Steve could see them. That was pretty cool. Because you could tell when it came back in after the pictures and it came back onto all of us on the screen, he had a big old grin on his face, dude. He was just like, oh, that's the coolest shit ever.
Dude, awesome. Steve's so cool.
John, unfortunately, has passed away. John Sturr, the blonde guy in the pictures, the rhythm guitar player, was an amazing player as well, man.
Can't remember. I cannot remember why. Oh, my God. I did know this. Oh, I can't remember why. I don't remember. Trying to think. I mean,
there you have it, folks. He doesn't remember.
And on that note,
I don't remember. Hey,
all right. Well,
thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Steve Blaze, for being here. Thank you, Dan, for being here. Dan, right?
Dan Angermaier, from Prison Wife.
Yes,
absolutely.
I'm remembering things today. Holy shit.
And I'm going to play you a couple more Lillian Axe tracks once you guys wrap it up.
Okay, cool.
Play Misery Loves Company and All's Fair in Love and War.
Nice.
You know what? And before we led into our show, a Lillian Axe song was playing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So once again, look, we thank you all big time for tuning in. Big thanks go out to Toxic Radio as always. These guys are class acts, man. They keep us on point, and they seem to like what we do, and we love what they do, so it works out nicely.
Yeah.
Super Dave is up next with the Bleeding Edge. Super Dave.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Hey, I remembered you this week,
Super
buddy.
Dave.
I was trying not to signal you. I did not want to undermine your memory.
I told you. I swore to you 2 weeks ago. I was like, I will never do that again. I will never fuck you over like that again.
You held true this time, my friend.
It's
appreciated.
I felt horrible. I mean, look at if you remember my reaction, I was just like, oh fuck, I did it again. What the fuck? Why can't I remember this shit? Bleeding Edge up next. Super Dave, you are the man, Dave. We appreciate you.
Write it down.
I appreciate you, my friend.
Write it down.
I fucked that writing it down shit, dude. We did this. I told you we were doing this show because off the hook, off the cuff. We didn't give a fuck. We didn't want any editing. We don't give a shit.
You every now and then you gotta write it down so that you remember to say Dave at the end of the show.
I got it.
Me catching him straight out of the studio and calling him a fucker, I think probably wrote it in his memory.
There you go.
That is exactly kind of the way it went down too. It's exactly the way it went down, and he used it. He used the different pronunciation on the word perfectly enough to get my attention. So it was perfect.
I say it affectionately.
Awesome.
And also, I guess I can say this as well. Returning this evening, for those of you that have missed him, and we have, I was real happy to see Fish pull up today in front of the studio. Y'all welcome back Fishman tonight. He's been off the air for a long time. His show will be on tonight after the Bleeding Edge. Woohoo! Yeah, brother.
Daddy's back, baby.
Yeah, Daddy's back. There you go. Daddy's back.
It's been a long time since I've rock and rolled.
Yeah, well, you're going to do it up tonight. You going 3 hours, 4 hours? You're going to stay all night? What are you going to do,
At least 3, and I'm going to spend a lot of time on Cinderella, Slipknot, and ZZ Top for sure.
Gotcha.
There you go, baby.
Understandable.
And Metal Church.
Yes. Can't forget Mike.
Yeah. So
Can't forget Mike, baby.
Again, we thank everybody. You know, Toxic Radio is where it's at. Y'all are interested in doing any kind of podcast, live cast, whatever, get in touch with Toxic. Mike Francolino is the fucking man. He does his thing back there. He is producer extraordinaire. He does some other things. Evidently favors Fish's motioning some certain things. Toxic Radio is where it's at. Again, we thank you all. We love you all. Thank you again to Steve Blaze and to Dan Angermaier. Appreciate both guests very much. Oh, Mike heart. With his little heart. Look
There's
at
a heart.
that.
That's a heart.
Oh, bless your heart.
You know what? I know what that means. I know what that fucking means. Fucking jerk.
You want to do the lean in? Wendy. You want to do the lean in?
Yeah, Wendy gonna kick it. Oh yeah. Hi, Wendy. Bless your heart.
All right, Mike. Thanks for a good show, bro.
Right.
I appreciate you doing this with me every week.
Brother. I love doing it with you.
So we got in 2 weeks. Actually, it's going to be Mike from South Carolina, and I'm going to be broadcasting live, calling in basically from Studio E with Rat Rod, who's going to be doing some recording.
Yes.
So yeah, it'll be an interesting
we'll
show.
Also have Thrill Ride will be joining us.
Maryland-born Thrill Ride.
Yes, one of them high vol bands. So we're gonna get them on and get them out there.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Enjoy your next 2 weeks, folks. Again, Bleeding Edge up next with Super Dave, followed by The Return of the Fishman. Only here on Toxic Radio, folks. Download the app, put it on all your devices, watch, listen whenever you want on the Facebook pages. We love you. We thank you. Peace out.